Good afternoon. Hope you guys are doing great. Obviously, we are back here after the outcome from last week. Just really want to recap on some highlights from the game from us defensively. Super proud of how our guys really started the football game with 4 turnovers, ending the game with 4 turnovers. And, the most proud part that we had, I think, was the sudden change moment where we had the turnover I think the ball was inside the 10, maybe the 6, and they get no points. Obviously, the low lights for the second half, over 350 yards, 4 touchdowns, and obviously didn't like the outcome. But each week you live and learn, and you have to always try to make sure you learn something from things like that. And this week with Coastal, basically a team that is averaging basically 40 points a game the last 4 or 5 games. They made some changes around, had some injuries with their quarterback between Collier and Tad are their quarterbacks. They do a great job down there just getting points up on the board, and running backs hard-nosed. O-linemen that's played together quite a bit, have a bunch of wideouts, so many different single-digit numbers I can't even keep up. They play 8 guys, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 17. Very athletic tight end, so excited about the matchup coming this weekend.
Clayton, have you changed the name on your door to Sugar Ray? Or?
I'm just glad Coach Beamer addressed that yesterday. Just one of those. It was a rumor that kind of it had some legs to it, and obviously we made fun of it and thought it was, it was. I'm glad that he addressed it. I don't have to double back on it, but definitely, I got some gloves in there. Yes, for sure. I actually met Bone Crusher Smith when I was a kid, so those are some of my boxing moments.
And also, Clayton, sorry to be so broad about this, but just what happened in that second half?
They got rolling. We didn't answer. We didn't, accountability. Obviously, you definitely, as a coordinator, you got to take the brunt of it, and definitely will. Always didn't get the guys. When we in the locker room, like Coach Beamer said, we was in there. We said they're gonna strike back. They're gonna strike back, and they had some momentum plays and some momentum on different other phases, and we couldn't slow them down. And we obviously, Coach Furby just said, some of that stuff was on us. And they made their plays when they did. They had some play calls that we haven't seen. But accountability definitely starts with us. Anytime we have that kind of lead, we feel like our defense travels on the road. We have a good defense, and we travel on the road. And the good defenses travel, what we kind of say. And obviously we did not step up to the plate when we needed it the most.
Kind of like I asked Coach Furry about the tale of two halves or whatever that cliche is. How do you separate like the good from the first and the bad from the second? Or I know you guys obviously talk about it all, but how do you try to draw the line between the two?
Well, with us, we want to make sure that our guys understand that the first half was not a fluke. We've done something like that before. We played that way before on the road. It was not a fluke. Really, the second half was more of a fluke than the first half, to be honest with you. So we're trying to, make sure our guys understand that, because confidence is a very important thing. When you leave a game like that, you're as low as you could possibly get from a confidence and mentality standpoint. And our job as coaches is just to pick them back up. Once we get back up, I think that's been the focus for the week, to make sure we get back up. Starting yesterday in practice, I thought our guys did a really good job, but you have to take the plays from it. You have to learn from it. It's like any other game, but you just got to learn. You have to learn from those moments. And we've been in those moments before, but not quite like that. But there's still things to learn.
In a game like that, too, where you do kind of have the lead that you did and you're playing a passing attack like they have, how do you kind of strike a balance between maybe playing like softer coverage or still trying to be aggressive in that type of situation?
Great question, Elijah. You sit back and you hindsight 2020 on Monday morning. I definitely was like, what in the world? Why not? Why not do this? When you're up like that, and you kind of want to know what kind of mindset they were going to bring to the game. And we were in some pass calls. We were aggressive. We kind of mixed it up, and some mistakes here and there, mistiming of a call here and there, and then just this didn't roll our way. But you definitely think like that. You can't sit back and just play prevent. But there is times for things like that. But obviously, you definitely don't want to have them to strike as fast as they did. I think that was the main thing that kind of caught us off guard. And maybe we probably weren't expected to. We was up 30-3 at the half, so it's kind of like, okay, we probably need to be ready for them to try and strike fast, and didn't quite answer that.
Clayton, in your opinion, what makes a good fourth quarter team? You guys historically have been always really solid since you've been here, since Shane's been here, but this year a little bit different. What differences have you noticed about this team in the fourth quarter compared to years past?
I would say things like that. Once it's, once you're on the field and in between the white lines, we can coach all we want. We can get them, the right plays and do as much, camaraderie stuff that we possibly can to make them understand that the fourth quarter is important. I do think leadership. I do think that that our guys talk about it. They try it. They understand the importance of the fourth quarter. We talk about it a lot at practice. We just have to do a better job of just doing our job in the fourth quarter and not, understand the stakes a little bit higher, and just got to be more focused and just more locked in. And I think that's the main thing. I'm not saying that we're not locked in, but you definitely want to be more of a better fourth quarter team that we have this season. And we just got to keep harping on it. We can't stop. I think the signs of strength in the person is like, don't give up. So we're not like stopping coaching it and teaching it. And I think our guys are understanding, and hopefully they get better as a person, as a player at some point in their life or in their football career.
I think of the first halves that you guys played against Alabama and Ty Simpson, and then last week against Marcel Reed. Are there things that you guys are doing, like wrinkles you're putting in, that are really just frustrating these quarterbacks and getting them off their block, and then they're able to make adjustments in halftime and get back to themselves, or is it just that's how it's happened?
I mean, like I said, when we play these kind of quarterbacks, the best thing for us that we play Lenoris. We play him 3 Saturdays in the spring. We play him 2 Saturdays in the fall, and we play him pretty much every day at practice. So that helps us a ton getting ready for a quarterback who can, literally out leverage you with just his feet. That really helps us a lot as far as how to plan. So I think that's the main thing that helps us. It's not our first time seeing a mobile quarterback. Teams that don't have mobile quarterbacks, it's harder for them to handle Lenoris because of those type of things. But we have a couple of things for sure that we make sure we understand how to handle those kind of quarterbacks.
Coach Beamer mentioned it after the game on Saturday that he's had a lot of good conversations with guys about coming back. For you with the defense, you're losing some guys like DQ Smith, but there's a lot of good talent on this team that I'm sure you guys want to have come back. How many conversations have you had with guys about their future plans and what they're going to do after this season?
None. As a DC right now, none. Focus right now week to week. Kind of let our general manager, our player director, player personnel, and Coach Beamer and that crew kind of have those conversations. We kind of split those two. The good thing about college football is like our guys are all NIL and all that stuff, but it never comes up in a conversation during the fall. So that makes it really good for the coaches. We don't have to deal with that stuff. So that's the best part I love about it. And it's not public. You don't know what's going on, so you don't have to worry about it.
You've been around a couple different DCs, or OCs here, different personalities. Not saying one approach is better or worse. Just Mike Fury brings a lot of energy. What have you seen from him in this, new role the last 2 weeks?
Last week, I think I spoke on just how proud I am just watching someone who's been elevated into multiple times since he's been here. Just the way he attacked it, just from the beginning, from the very first day, and he kind of just started, and then you can tell that his personality is definitely, you can see it. I mean, he hasn't changed a bit, so I think that's very important. I'm just proud of how he's doing and how he's taking it on, learning some things from him from a just professional standpoint. I thought that was very, just like what I'm seeing. Thank you, guys. Take care.